friends, today we are going to discuss remaining part of the discussion. Yesterday we are into a part of the middle of the discussion that question paper remain questions we are going to solve today. My dear friends, let me open the question paper. Dear friends, this is People's Advocate 𝒟𝑒𝒻𝓈 Malela. I am going to discuss about the portfolio management. How it will help you being an advocate. Don't worry. The moment cases comes to you like regarding to share market cases, or else it is one more income for you being a investor, not a trader, and you need to understand the portfolio how it works, and then like the way how to invest, and some part it is academic interest. You can learn, enjoy this thing. Now we are going to already two questions we started yesterday, we finished. Now this question is very simple question and we are going to solve here. The question is, Mr. X is having 1 lakh shares, Mr. Karnataka Limited. The beta of the company is 1.40. Let me just 1 minute. Exactly, I'll share the question to you and then we will start. Just wait, my dear friends. Friends, please wait 3 or 4 minutes because first I need to share the question, which question I'm going to talk to you, and then we will solve into the Excel problem. I will solve into will solve their problem in the Excel mode. So please wait. Mr. X is having 1 lakh shares in Kanyaka Limited. Yes, friends, wait some time. Please, friends, wait. Dear friends, dear friends, first you need to understand this question and then we'll go and solve the answer. The question is written based on CAPM. This question came into July 21, May 22, RTP November 22, MTP. Mr. X is having 1 lakh shares. Mr. Kanyaka Limited, the beta of the company is 1.40. Mr. Y, a financial advisor, has suggested having the following portfolio: security, SKPD, beta 1.20, 0.05, 0.40, 1.40. Percent of holding 10%, 10%, 10%, 30%, 50%. Okay, now 10 percentage, 10 percentage, 30 percentage, 50 percentage holding. Market return is 12%, risk free rate is 8%. You are required to calculate the following for the present investment and suggest the portfolio. This is the question. And then what is expected return based on CAPM, and also if the market goes up 2.5 percentage, if the market goes down 2.5 percentage, if the market gives negative return 2.5 percentage, if the probability of the market giving negative return is more, please advise to Mr. X whether to continue or holding. Friends, let us see this problem. What is the expected return based on CAPM, and also if the market goes up by 2.5 percentage, what will happen? If the market goes down 2.5%, what will happen? If the market gives negative returns 2.5%, what will happen? If the probability of the market negative return is more, please advise Mr. X whether to continue the holding of Mr. Kanyaka Limited or to buy the portfolio as per the suggestions of Mr. Y. If so, why? This is the question, my dear friends. Now we are going to solve the problem and we will open one workbook. In that workbook only, we are going to solve problems and solutions. See, this is question in our question paper, question number 1C. Question number One see, this question is talking about what? Is talking about market return. This question is what? See, first we need to grip on the problem. We need to understand the problem correctly. Then only we are able to answer very well. Otherwise problems will. You'll see what is the question. Question says that Mr. X 1 lakh shares in where Mr. Kanyaka Limited. But what is the beta of the company is 1.40. Mr. Y is a financial advisor, has suggested having the following portfolio. You have 1 lakh shares. But if you financial advisor is what is telling that, dear friend, Mr. X, you please follow this portfolio. It will help you reach more revenue. That's what he advised. But to understand how they built the portfolio, the security they given, beta component they given. Beta is nothing but what? Covariance of xy divided by variance of x comma y. Covariance of xy divided by variance of x into y. That's called beta. To understand the beta, already I spoke to you in yesterday class. The beta is nothing but covariance xy divided by coefficient covariance is equal to 1 minute. In yesterday class, we need to understand each and every parameter what the question. Then if question is not understood, then no meaning, no point to discuss about answer. First, you need to understand what are the parameters given in the question. If you are a well expert, the moment you read the question, your mind will map how to answer, where to answer, how to start, how to find, what not to find. Everything your brain should be captured. Then only you will be able to solve in the problem under examination condition this problem. My dear friend, you see, what is the question? The question is telling Mr. X is having 1 lakh shares of Mr. Kanyaka Limited. The beta of the company is 1.40. So actually, what is meant by beta? The beta is equal to expected return minus free return divided by RM minus RF. In CAPM formula, what is telling? The return is equal to RF plus beta into RM minus RF. Remember what is meant by beta? How we calculated beta in various problems. Did you able to remember what I told yesterday? In order to find beta of the security, covariance of security one and security two divided by variance of the security A. Dear friends, just wait 1 minute. Friends, the variance of security is equal to covariance of security x and y divided by variance of xy. This is called return of security. For example, Because the moment given in the problem, we should be able to understand and then visualize how we need to solve. What components available to here? The beta component available, security holding available to you. Hereafter, we need to compute what are the required elements according to the problem. Okay. Okay, friends. Let's go for discussion. I said what is the beta of the security is equal to covariance of the xy divided by sigma of x and y. That's called a PD square divided by that's called. Sorry, what is meant by covariance? You want to know the answer? The covariance of security x and y is nothing but we are computing PD square, right? That is the covariance. And then variance and all, it's come from the deviations. That's why while we computing, we should understand that whom you are calculating the portfolio or whom you are paying. Yesterday we discussed at large what is meant by covariance of the securities, because we need to understand the beta calculation. In CAPM formula, return is equal to RF plus beta into RM minus RF. In CAPM formula, what is the beta? What is the beta? In CAPM formula, beta is return is equal to RF plus beta into RM minus RF. That only we are going to compute. Then if you put into the beta is equal to what is coming? Beta is equal to return minus risk free return divided by RM minus RF, that is equal beta of the security. Understood, friends? Now, in this question, to understand the security variance they clearly is telling that variance of security x and y divided by variance of the y. We'll go ahead, my dear friends. We'll solve the problem. Then you will understand much more better. But that's you understood. Percentage of holding you understood. Overall beta you understood. And you are required to calculate the for the present investment and suggested portfolio. Market return is market return is 12%. Risk free rate is 8 percentage. Market return is 12 percentage. Risk free rate is 8 percentage. You are required to calculate the following for the present investment and suggested portfolio. You are required to calculate the following for the present investment and suggested portfolio for the investment. Later, what he asking? What is the expected return based on CAPM, and also if the market goes up 2.5 percentage, if the market goes down 2.5 percentage, if the market gives negative 2.5 percentage, if the probability of the market giving negative return is more, please advise Mr. X whether to continue the holding Mr. Kanyaka Limited or to buy the portfolio as per suggestions of Mr. Y. If so, why? This is the question, my dear friend. Now, step by step, I am going to solve in the Excel sheet. You please, guys, understand the problem. It will help you in future to take better advices. Now, I am computing working note 1. Working note 1. I am doing working note number 1. Working note. In working note number 1, computation of the beta of the portfolio. Computation, computation of computation of beta of portfolio. Computation of the beta portfolio. No. Beta portfolio is equal to computation of beta of the portfolio. Beta portfolio is equal to beta of portfolio is equal to 1.2 into 10 percentage. Why? Because you know the beta, you know the holding. Beta and holding percentage. Now, according to the question, what is the beta? 1.2, 1.075, 0.40, 1.40. So beta, according to just now we opened and seen, beta is showing 1.2 and 0.75 and 0.40 and 1.40. This is the beta, guys. See, 1.20, 0.75, 0.40, 1.40. Okay, holding percentage 10, 10, 30, 50. 10, 10, 10, 10, 30, 50. 30, 50. Now, these are the securities between What are those securities? SKPD. SKPD. These are the securities. These are the percentage holding. Now, if you compute all these, how much is coming? Then I'll see the product is equal into percentage. How much is coming? This much is coming. Then what is total? Is equal sum of 1.015. 1.015. 1.015 is what? The portfolio. Okay. The beta of the portfolio is equal to 1.015 times. Okay, understood now. Computation of the expected return of the portfolio and present investment. Now, we'll compute working note number 2. Working note 2. Working note number 2. What we need to do, my friends? My friends, you need to understand that what is the formula for CAPM, cap asset pricing method? RF plus beta into RM minus RF. That is called original return. Okay, but since they given into different portfolio in the manner of market return and free return, 12% and 8%. Due to this situation, we are going to compute CAPM return. They're asking the market is goes up by 2.5%, what will happen? The market comes down 2.5%, what will happen? If the market gives negative return, what will they happen? These are asking the questions. And somebody is calling me. Just wait 1 minute. I'll come back to you. Friends, now you understood, right? We got it. What is the beta of the portfolio? We know the risk free return. We know the risk market risk, the beta, and the present investment is what? And with according to new beta, what is the answer? That's what we are going to do computation, my dear friends. Let us go for calculation part. Computation of the expected return. COMPUTATION. Computation of the expected return. Computation of the expected return. Computation of the expected return of portfolio. Computation of the expected return portfolio and present investment. Present investment. computation of the expected return of portfolio and present. Of the expected return portfolio and present investment. Computation of the expected return of portfolio and present investment. Computation of the expected return of the portfolio and present investment. So what we do, situation, 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 and risk free return, RF, RF, RM, present beta, beta, RF, RM, beta. Beta. Present investment. Present investment. Beta and computation of return. Or computation of the return. Now we'll go for the portfolio return according to the present beta that we'll see later. If I go here, original, what is the risk-free rate return? You have right in problem. If you want to see the problem, you'll go the problem and see. Market return is 12%, whereas risk-free return is 8%. Okay, let's go for solve the problem. The original risk-free return is 8%, whereas market risk is 12%, whereas beta of the portfolio is, according to the problem, they said 1.40. Okay. Now, if you know all these elements, the return is equal to 8% plus into beta into RM minus RF. Plus 1.40, 8 plus 1, 8 per 0, 12% minus 8%. This is. So around 13.60 is coming, friends. But whereas new portfolio beta, according to new portfolio beta, as per portfolio beta, portfolio beta, portfolio beta, portfolio beta is equal to, you know, the beta, it comes 1.015 came up, right? Now, and then the written computation, same as it is, but here we'll put, instead of 1.40, we'll put as 1.015. So then it's coming this much percentage is correct, or we'll compute C. Thing is equal risk-free return 0.015 into, this is what my 12.06 coming. Whereas present investment 0.60, after applied the portfolio beta, our return comes down 12.60. This is the original. Now let's think according to the question, what they're asking. If the market goes up 2.5%, what will be the CAPM? Let's come back our discussion. The market goes up by 2.5%. Market goes up by 2.5%. Then what I should do? Then everything is same. Only change is your beta, instead of your RM, instead of 12, it's going to add by plus 2.5 percentage. Then automatically things will change, right? Then it is comes 17.08. Then it comes 15.11%. My friend, are you understood what I'm telling? This is will happen if market goes up by 2.5%. If market come down by 2.5%, what will happen? If market goes down by 2.5%, what will happen? What will happen is equal 12 percentage, it becomes to 10 percentage, or it becomes 10.5. Okay, okay, near to that. Accordingly, your computation also will change. Then 11%. Here also 11%. This is going to be what happened in the market. If the market goes down by 2.5, if market negative 2.5, what will happen? We'll see. If market negative 2.5%, then what will happen? This is same, all the same, but few elements will change. What are those? We'll see. Your market risk is 2 minus 2.5 percentage. Okay, then your beta again same, then your return will be minus 2.5. Okay, my friend. Then around 6.70 negative return is coming. Whereas if I go portfolio beta, then what happening? Here also, if I put minus 2.5 percentage, around 2.54 is negative is coming. So what is advice? Being a financial advisor, what my advice on this product? Advice is, if the probability of the market giving negative return is more, it is advisable to mistract to buy the portfolio suggested. If the probability of the market giving negative return is more, it is advisable to mistract to buy the portfolio suggested by Mr. Y, because beta of the portfolio is less than the Kanyaka limited. If the probability of market, if the probability of the market giving negative return is more, it is advisable to buy the portfolio, folio suggested by advocate Narayana Mallela, because beta of the portfolio is less than the Kanyaka limited. That's it. Now, question, I'll come back for your discussion. Dear friends, the next question I'm going to solve in front of you is question number 2. The question is, Equity ABC Limited, ABCL is a 500 crores debt worth is 290 crores, printer division. this question. I'm going to share you. Give me 5 minutes, my dear friends. Now time is 10:30. How many people joined in our discussion? Oh, I'm only one now. Okay, one person joined. No problem. Friends, now we solved one problem. Another problem I'm going to solve and I'm going to discuss and then I'm going to present to you. You just wait 5 minutes. Next problem is the equity of the ABC Limited ABCL is a 500 crores. Its debt it is worth 20 crores printer division. Segment value is attributable to 64% wealth, which has an asset to base value 1.55. Balance value applied on separate and consumable division, which has an asset to beta 1.40. ABCL debt to beta is 0.28. Now you are required to calculate equity beta, ascertain the equity beta. ABC Limited decides to change its debt equity position by raising further debt. Buying this back, equity to have a debt equity ratio is 1.5. Assume that present debt to beta is 0.45. Any further funds raised by way of the debt will have the beta uh, 2.50. Whether the new equity beta BE justifies increase in the value of equity on account of leverage. Dear friends, we are going to solve this problem in front of you. You just give me 5 minutes. I am going to share this question. Final course that. Oh. Ah. Dear friends, now I am going to solve one problem. That's I'm going to share you the problem and then we will work together. Okay, friends, you're good guys and cooperating me to solve many problems. I'm grateful to you. Good guys. Let us go for discussion. Just wait few minutes. I'll bring that problem in front of you. Then we'll be able to solve well. Dear friends, we are going to solve this problem. What is this problem? Computation of the beta. Equity of the KGF Limited is 410 crores. Its debt is worth rupees 170 crores. Printer division segment's value is attributable to 74 percentage, which has an asset beta of 1.45. Balance value is applied to space and consumables division, which has an asset beta 1.20. KGFL debt beta is 0.24. You are required to calculate equity beta, asset and equity beta if KGF Limited decides to change its to have its debt equity ratio 1.90. Asset beta is 0.35, 0.40. What is the new equity beta? Increase in the value of equity average. Friends, you understanding the question? Equity of KGF Limited is 410 crores, whereas debt is 170 crores. Printer division segment value is attributable to 74%, which has an asset beta 1.45. Balance is applied to spares and consumables division, which has an asset beta 1.20. KGFL beta is debt beta is 0.24. You are required to calculate equity beta, asset and equity beta. If KGF Limited decides to debt equity position by raising further debt, the buying back of the equity to have its debt equity ratio is 1.0. Assume that the present debt beta is 0.35 and any further funds raised by way of debt will have to be a beta 0.40. Whether equity beta is justifiable, increase in the value of equity on account of leverage. Friends, I am going to solve this question here. So step 1, question number question number 2a. We are talking about question number 2a. We are answering in question paper. Okay, friends, let's go for discussion on this question. First, we are going to working note number 1 is a computation of KGF Limited. What we are going, one answer, sorry, answer answer to this question. A N note 1 in working note, computation of asset beta of KGF Limited. KGF Limited. Computation of asset beta of KGF Limited. Source beta weight product. Somebody calling me. Just 1 minute, my friends. My client is calling me. I need to explain some case. అక్కడ క్లాస్ చదువుతున్నా బాబు కూర్చొని కొన్ని విషయాలు మధ్యలో ఉన్నా ప్రాబ్లం క్లాస్ చెప్పాలి కదా ష్యూర్. కానీ వాడిని కూరగాయలు రెండు ఒకేసారి తిమ్మంటావా? వాడిని కూరగాయలు రెండు వా అప్పుడు వెయిట్ ఉంటుంది, వెనకాల ముందు బరువు ఉంటుంది, తేడా కొడితే నిద్ర పడదు. ఆ సైకిల్ కాళ్ళు అవ్వదు సరిగ్గా. అందుకని సిస్టమేటిక్గా అది ఒక్కటి చేస్తాను. అది ఎప్పుడు చెప్పలేదు తమ్మని చేస్తావు. అందుకని ఏమైంది చూస్తాను. ఏదైనా లిస్ట్ పెట్టుకోరు. ఓకే చేస్తాను. ఓకే తొందర చూడు లైవ్ చూడు. Dear friends, my dear colleagues, we are solving this question. First, somebody newly joined, they have to understand about this question, right? That's why Again, I am reading question one more time. You please keep in your mind this question, or else you take photo of this question. And while solving the question, you need to be must be aware of full grip on the understanding the question. In AFM subject, the moment you understood the full question, answer is very easy, my friend. Answer is very easy. The thing is whether you understood the question perfectly or not is the matter. Solution is very easy, dead easy. Whether you understood the question and where to start, how to start, when to start, in what way we need to solve this, what impact on this is from which chapter, all this you need to understand. Read the question again. Equity of the KGF Limited is 410 crores. Its debt worth is 170 crores. Whereas printer division segment attributable to 74%, which has an asset to beta was 1.45. Balance is applied to spare parts and consumables division, which has an asset to beta is 1.20, whereas KGFL beta is 0.24. Now you are required to calculate equity beta, ascertain equity beta if KGF Limited decides to change its debt equity position by raising a further debt, by buying back of equity to have a debt equity ratio was 1.90. Assume that the present debt beta is 0.35 and any further funds are raised by way of the debt will have a beta 0.40. Whether the new equity beta justifies increase in the value of equity on account of the leverage. Friends, now let's go for discussion. We'll solve here the question. Why I'm telling keep? Because you understood the problem, then answer is dead easy. Only thing is you need to understand the properly the problem first. Now, my friend, you know the basic information which you have. Now I am going to solve the problem. You please see. My friend, my dear friends, now let us go solve the problem. Now we are going to solve. నువ్వు నేను చేశానా ఎప్పుడు కాల్ చేయలేదే పర్లేదు పర్లేదు ఏదో పెట్టాను ఏదో చేసుకుంటున్నా నీకు కుదిరితే వర్క్ జాయిన్ అవ్వు లేకపోతే లేదు ఉపయోగపడితే జాయిన్ అవ్వవు లేకపోతే ఎందుకు నేనేదో నా చదువు కోసం నేను చేసుకుంటాను చేసు అయ్యయ్యో నేను జాయిన్ అవ్వను కదా నేను ఎవరో పెట్టానులే చాలా మంది పెడతా నీకు కూడా పెట్టా ఓ చాలా మంది జాయిన్ అయ్యారు వింటున్నారు కొంతమంది అట్లా ఏదో నా మార్కెటింగ్ నేను చేసుకుంటాను అంటే నేనేంటంటే ఇలా చేస్తూ ఉన్నా అనుకో ద మూమెంట్ ఐ క్లియర్ సిఏ ఫైనల్ ఆటోమేటికలీ పాపులర్ అయిపోతాం మార్కెట్లో మనం ఇప్పుడు నుంచి చేసుకుంటా ఉంటే అంటే ఒక రోజుకి రాదు కదా ఇప్పుడు గబక్కన సీ అయిపోయినా కానీ మార్కెట్ అవ్వడానికి టైం పట్టింది కదా ఇప్పుడు నువ్వు పికప్ అవ్వడానికి నీకు 1 ఇయర్ పట్టిన టైం 1 ఆర్ 2 ఇయర్స్ పట్టినా ఇప్పుడు నువ్వు స్లోగా పికప్ అయిపోతున్నావు రేపు ఎల్లుండో ప్లాట్ఫామ్కి వెళ్ళిపోతావు దూసుకెళ్ళిపోతావు అంటే మనం ఇప్పుడు నుంచి చేసుకుంటా వస్తే నాకు సీఏ ఫైనల్ అయినాటికి మనకి కొంతమంది తెలుసుంటాం అది ఇంకేం లేదు అందుకని చేస్తూ తమ్ముడు ఆల్ ది బెస్ట్ తమ్ముడు నువ్వు అడిగే వర్క్ నేను చెప్పింది నాకు ఏ వర్క్ వచ్చినా అది నేను చేయలేకపోయినా నీకు ఇస్తా ఇది నాకు ఎందుకులే నాకు వేరే భారంగా ఉందా నీకు ఏం చేస్తా నీకు పాయింట్ అర్థమైందా అంటే ఒక చార్టెడ్ అకౌంటెంట్ చేసే పనులు నేను చేయను అది నీకే ఇచ్చేస్తా బిహైండ్ చార్ట్ అకౌంటెంట్ ఓన్లీ ఇన్ ది ప్రాసెస్ ఆఫ్ కోర్టు లిటిగేషన్లో అయ్యే పనులే నేను చేసేది అకౌంట్స్ నేను చేయను ఆడిటింగ్ నేను చేయను ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ప్రిపరేషన్ ఆఫ్ ది ఫైనాన్షియల్స్ నేను చేయను ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ప్రొజెక్షన్స్ నేను చేయను తర్వాత ట్యాక్స్ ఆడిట్ మీకు ఎలా తెలిసిందే ఇప్పుడు ఆ రిటర్న్ ఫైలింగ్స్ కూడా నా కోర్ట్ వర్క్ పెరిగితే రిటర్న్ ఫైలింగ్స్ కూడా నేను తీసుకోను అది కూడా నీకే పంపిస్తాను ఓకేనా కాకపోతే ఏంటంటే యాజ్ ఆఫ్ నౌ మనకి కోర్ట్ వర్క్ పెద్దగా లేదు కాబట్టి నేను ఐఎమ్ ఆల్సో డూయింగ్ ఇన్కమ్ ట్యాక్స్ రిటర్న్స్ జిఎస్టీ రిటర్న్స్ జిఎస్టీ రిటర్న్స్ నాకు చేయలేదు నా దగ్గర 2-3 ఉన్నాయి అవి కూడా నేను చేయట్లేదు ఆల్రెడీ ఒక నిన్ను అప్రోచ్ అవ్వమని చెప్పి అప్రోచ్ చేయడాడు గుర్ర సత్యనారాయణ ఆ, ఆ. వద్దొద్దొద్దొద్దొద్దొద్దు. సర్లే అప్రోచ్ మీకు చాలాసార్లు చెప్పాను. సరే ఇప్పుడు నేను చూడు, జిఎస్టీ రిటర్న్స్ నీకే ఫార్వర్డ్ చేస్తాను. నేను ఆ జిఎస్టీ రిటర్న్స్ కూడా చేయను. ఓన్లీ ఇన్కమ్ ట్యాక్స్ రిటర్న్స్. అదేంటంటే ఏదో సంవత్సరానికి ఒకసారి కాబట్టి ₹4 వస్తాయి కాబట్టి చేస్తున్నాను. గోయింగ్ ఫార్వర్డ్ నా మెయిన్ కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ అంతా కోర్ట్ వర్కే. కోర్ట్ వర్క్ అంటే రిట్ పిటిషన్స్ కానీ, తర్వాత అపీల్స్ కానీ, లేదంటే ట్రిబ్యునల్స్ కానీ, ఈ ఎంతసేపు ఉన్న లిటిగేషన్ వర్కే కానీ, నాన్ లిటిగేషన్ వర్క్ కానీ, ఎంటైర్ చార్ట్ అకౌంటెన్సీ వర్క్ కానీ ఏమన్నా నాకు వచ్చినా నేను నీకే ఫార్వర్డ్ చేస్తాను. ఇక నాకు డీరెస్ట్ వన్ ఎవరు లేదు దగ్గరలో. ఉన్నోడు నువ్వే, నీకు ఇస్తా, నువ్వు ఏదైనా హెల్ప్ చేసుకో. ఐ మీన్ యూ కెన్ బిల్డ్ వన్ బై వన్. ఓకేనా? అది తమ్ముడు. ఇక విషయం ఏంటంటే అసలు నా వర్క్‌కే నిన్ను కూడా ఉపయోగించుకుంటా. ఇంకా అంటే లిటిగేషన్ వర్క్ ఇంకేదైనా మోరుగా వచ్చిందనుకో చక్కగా నీకు ఇచ్చి పని చేయించుకొని ఏదో చాలా పాల బేడ తీసుకొని వెళ్ళిపోదాం ముందుకి. నువ్వు కూడా అటు కోర్ట్ వర్క్ వచ్చినా యాక్సెప్ట్ చెయ్యి. ఎందుకంటే యూ ఆర్ మల్టీ పర్సన్ లైక్ చార్ట్ అకౌంటెంట్ అండ్ కమ్ అడ్వొకేట్ నువ్వు. కాబట్టి యూ యాక్సెప్ట్ కోర్ట్ వర్క్ అండ్ దెన్ యూ డూ వాట్ ఎవర్ అండ్ ఫర్ యూ ఐ విల్ అసిస్టెన్స్ బిఫోర్ ద కోర్ట్స్ అండ్ దెన్ యూ కెన్ చార్జ్ దట్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ మనీ ఆల్సో. స్లోగా మనం ఆ బిజినెస్ కూడా వదలొద్దు. నువ్వు ట్రిబ్యునల్ దాకా నువ్వు హ్యాండిల్ చేయగలవు. ట్రిబ్యునల్ బివైన్ ట్రిబ్యునల్ వచ్చినా హైకోర్టు నేను చేసి పెడతాను. ఆల్ ది బెస్ట్ తమ్ముడు. తర్వాత ఆయన నంబర్ కూడా ఇవ్వమంటావా? పాస్ట్ గారి నంబరు చెప్పాక నిన్న ప్రైవేట్ లిమిటెడ్ కంపెనీ స్టార్ట్ చేయాలన్నాడని. ఆయన నంబర్ ఇస్తాను, నువ్వు మాట్లాడు ఆయన తోటి. సార్ యూ ఆస్క్ టు అడ్వకేట్ శ్రీమన్నారాయణ మహిళ యాజ్ టు వాట్ యూ వాంట్ టు సే టు రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ ఆఫ్ కంపెనీ. సో దిస్ ఇస్ అడ్వకేట్, ఐ మీన్ దిస్ ఇస్ చార్ట్ అకౌంటెంట్ చాణక్య. ఐఎమ్ ఏ టీమ్ ఆఫ్ అడ్వకేట్ శ్రీమన్నారాయణ విల్ వర్క్ టుగెదర్ సార్. సో ఐ డూ దట్ సార్ అని ఆయన వర్క్ అన్ని ఇచ్చి పేపర్లు అన్ని ఇచ్చినాక ఇదిగోండి సార్ నా ఫీజు ఎంత అని చెప్పి, ఎంత అవుద్దండి చేయడానికి అని చెప్పి. అంత ఇస్తేనే చెయ్యి. ఇవ్వలేదనుకో మాకు ఆయన లేదండి మేము చారిటీ అండి మేము తక్కువ ఇస్తామండి అన్నాడు అనుకో, లేదు సార్ మీరు మార్కెట్లో ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళినా ఇంతే ఇస్తారు సార్. తర్వాత ఆయన ఎవరన్నా ఒక ఆయన పెద్ద ఆయన పరిచయం చేస్తున్నాడు. ఆయన అలాంటి వాళ్ళు పరిచయం చేసి ఏదైనా 4 ఆడిట్లో తీసుకుని చెప్పు నీ గురించి నువ్వు చెప్పుకొని ఏదైనా ఇంటర్నల్ ఆడిట్, స్టాట్యూటరీ ఆడిట్ అవి వేరే ఆయన చేత అంటే ఏదైనా జస్ట్ ఇంకొక ఆయన అన్నా బిగ్ బాస్, ఆ బిగ్ బాస్ ఏమైనా నీకు ఉపయోగపడితే ఉపయోగించు. ఆ నంబర్ ఇప్పుడే నీకు ఫార్వర్డ్ చేస్తాను. ఓకే తమ్ముడు, థ్యాంక్ యూ, థ్యాంక్ యూ. Dear friends, sorry for interruption in between our discussion. Now let us go for discussion. 2% joined up. See, computation of asset beta of KGF Limited. Yes. Source. There are two kinds. One is printer division, another one is space division. Printer. Printer division. Another one is space division. Beta. What is the beta is there? What is the beta of the printer division and source division? The go to the question. Go to the question. The printer division. See, KGF Limited. Okay. Asset beta 1.45. Whereas the printer division beta 1.20. Okay, friends. Printer division 1.45. Spares division 1.20. 1.20. Printer division 1.45. Spares division 1.20. What are the weights? Weightage 0.74, 0.74, and whereas spares is 0.26. You want to understand that? Go to the question. Question what speaks about printer division segment attributable to 0.74. Okay. Then remain percentage is what? 0.26 will be the spares division. 0.74, 0.26. Then if you the product is 1 into 2 is the product, is the product. Then total is equal 2.65. 2.65, weight is 1.385. Then beta is equal product divided by weight. That's called 1.385. Asset beta of KGF Limited is equal to 1.385 times. Asset beta of asset asset beta of KGF Limited, asset beta of KGF Limited to be a asset beta of KGF Limited is equal to 1.385 times, 1.385 times 1.385, yeah, times 1,385 times. Now we'll go for working note 2. Before goes to working note, again we'll go to one time about the problem what is telling. See, you understand the clear the problem. Equity of the KGF Limited is 410 crores, its debt is 170 crores. Whereas printer division segment attributable to 74 percentage, then spare parts division is 26 percentage, which has an asset to beta was 1.45, whereas space division asset to beta is 1.20. Now beta into weight is equal to product we arrived, then asset to beta of KGF Limited is showing that 1.385 times. In working note 2, what we need to do? We need to compute computation of equity beta of the KGF Limited. Let us assume equity beta of KGF Limited is to be A. Then what will happen? We'll see, my dear friends. Now let's go for question. Let us assume let us assume equity beta equity beta is capital A. Equity beta is capital A. Then the position will be like this. So source, 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 then beta and weight, source, beta, weight, product. Source, beta, weight, product. Now source is equity component, equity, and old debt, new debt. New debt. So equity, old debt, new debt. The beta is A of equity, whereas old debt is 0.35, new debt is 0.40. How do you know this information? Let's go to problem. We'll see. What's they telling? The printer division asset to beta is 1.45 and spare parts asset to beta is 1.20. Now just now we computed equity, just now we computed what we computed, asset to beta of KGF Limited we computed. Now what we are going to compute? We are going to compute debt. Debt beta, you know, right? Because overall KGF Limited beta is 1.385. Okay. Whereas Depth beta already you know it is 1.20. The weight is 0.26. Now we are going to talk about it is a 0.24. How it happened 0.24. See, we'll go to problem and discuss. He given that kg of depth beta is 0.24. Just now we computed kg of asset beta is 1.385, whereas depth beta 0.24, the remain portion will be equity beta. Beta plus depth beta is equal to 1.385. It should match. Let's come for discussion. My dear friends, he is telling that the depth beta is 0.24, right? According to the problem, 0.24. Am I right? Depth beta is 0.24. Then what are the weights here? The weight is one equity component is 410 crores, whereas debt component is 170 crores. Then what is the product will happen here? Is equal this into, sorry, this into this. This is equal to, this will happen. Now this into is equal this into this one. This is 40.8. Now the total is equal to, total is equal to 1.385, which already we computed earlier. Now the total weight seems to be 580. Now the product is equal to 580 divided by 1.385. That is equal to 417. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No. 803. Okay. This is what, my friend? Equity 803.30 na. అంటే 410 crores plus 170 crores. Debt equity ratio is 1.90, assuming the present beta is 0.35. Further rise by way of the debt have beta of 0.40. Now, overall product is equal to 803. Dear friends, because of this information, we can compute that 410A plus 40.8 is equal to 8.3. Then 410A is equal to 762.5. See, A 410 plus A 410 plus A 410 plus 40.80, 40.80, 40.80 is equal to 803, 803.30, 803.30. Whereas 410A is equal to, then 762 point will happen. 762 point will happen. Okay, then 762 point will happen. Now, equity beta is equal A is equal A is equal 762 is equal 762 divided by 410. Then what will happen? Beta is coming 1.8596 times. Therefore, for equity beta, equity beta is equal to 1.8596. 1.8596. Now, dear friends, now what next to be calculated? We'll check with the problem what required demand things those we are going to solve. Next, go for question. Equity beta we computed over. Now, ascertain equity beta KG of limited decides to change its debt equity position by raising further debt and buying back of equity to having its debt equity ratio is 1.90. Assume that the present debt beta is 0.35 and any further funds raised by way of debt will have a beta of 0.40. Whether the new equity beta justifies increase in the value of equity on account of leverage. On account of leverage. Friends, now what we are going to do, working note number 3. Working note number 3. Computation of equity beta post buyback. Computation of equity beta post post buyback. Post buyback. Computation of equity post buyback. Let us assume equity beta to be A again. Let us assume equity beta is A. Okay. Now, source, source, now source, beta, weight, product, product. Now, what is the source? The source is equity component and old debt and new debt. Okay, the beta is A, old debt beta is 0.35 and new debt beta is 0.40.
Incoming voice call from +91799693.
Hello. Yes ma'am, yes ma'am, yes ma'am. I'm a CA intern only completed ma'am, long back. CA final pending ma'am. Yes, yes ma'am. Ma'am, ma'am, 1 minute ma'am, 1 minute ma'am. I'm a BCom, MCom, CA inter long back completed, BL ML also I completed ma'am. Professional qualification I have a law degree. Okay madam, okay madam, no issue. Okay madam, sure. Friends, the new debt is 0.40. How do you know this 0.40, 0.35? We need to understand. The present debt beta is 0.35. Assume that, see, what question they asked? Ascertain equity beta if KGF Limited decides to change its debt equity position by raising further debt, buying back equity, or to have a debt equity ratio 1.90. Assume that the present debt beta is 0.35 and any further funds raised by way of debt will have to be 0.40 only. Now, this is what we are going to solve, my friends. 0.35 they given answer question, 0.40 they given in question. Now, what I am going to do, we should understand the weights of the product. A, how much will be there? Equity 200. Earlier equity was 200. Now they said debt equity ratio is 1.90. We'll compute now. The weight they given in problem. They said debt equity ratio is 1.90. Okay. If debt equity 1.90, what is the debt to what is the equity? Last time equity component came 1.85, right? Yes. 1.8596 times weight. Whereas, can I consider like this? The total equity is 580. 580 into 1.8596 percentage. Then 10 only come. 580 into 1.8596 percentage. 580 into 1.8596 percentage. 10.7 is coming. Okay, computation of equity beta post buyback, source beta weight product, equity old debt new debt, A 0.35 0.40, weight 200. To compute this weight, we need to refer working note 1. Refer working note 4, that is equal to 200. How will come working note 4? Working note 4. In working note 4, computation of the debt raised we are going to compute. Computation. COMPUTATION. Computation of debt raised. Computation of debt raised. Computation of debt raised. Total capital of the company existing capital ex EXISTING capital existing capital, how much? 410 plus, sorry, 410 plus 170, that is equal to 580 crores. Now target debt equity ratio is equal to 1.5. Target debt equity ratio is equal to, target debt equity ratio is equal to 1.90 times. Then then 1.9 into 1.9 into equity, 1.9 into equity, 1.9 into equity is a debt. Equity plus equity is equal to 580. 580. Then equity square u square is equal to 580 divided by 1.9, then 305. 305 is equal to, divided by 2, no, root. Oh, 2.9 equity వచ్చింది కదా, సారీ, 2.9 equity is equal 580. Then equity is equal to, then equity is equal to 580 divided by 2, 29. G code divided by 2.9, then 200 is coming. Equity is 200, then debt will be 380 will happen. Total. Total. So this is what happened, right? Now this information can I substitute here in working note number 3. Answer is 200. Then product is equal to 200 into A. Hello, hello. Factory. Food license. Okay, okay. బిర్యానీ కాడా సరే ఆధార్ కార్డు పాన్ కార్డు மொபைல் நம்பரும் மெயில் ஐடி சொல்லுங்க. You come to my office. ఓకేనా. ఓకే. Dear friends, now this is 200 A. Now, because yes, 200, no, it is 200, then 200 A, then old depth point seven, that is called 0.75 is there, and then new depth is 210. Okay, if you watch the problem also, depth worth 170 and old depth 170, new depth 210. So 380. How 175? Not 175. It is 170. 170. This is 210. These two together 380. For 380 only we computed here formula. Okay, 380. Now total total 200 A is equal to into this is what. Usually the beta is 1.385, which we know already. Now the weight, it's absolutely 570, and then this is 1.43A. It's not about 1.43A. 200A plus 59.50 plus 84, that is equal to, it should be 803, 803.30 according to him. Then while computing A,
ఇప్పుడు టీచర్ ప్రతిదే మనం చెయ్యాలా మా పంపు చెప్పి పెట్టేసి మా వదిలి గట్లు మనకి వద్దు చెప్పి అంతా అక్కడ పెట్టేసి తిరిగి ఎప్పుడు అక్కడ చూసేపెట్టి వాళ్ళ అంతా ఎక్కువ వాళ్ళ ముగ్గురు ఎత్తుకొచ్చి మా తోడి కలిసి తగిన ఇచ్చేసి వాళ్ళ నాకు మా మంచి బ్రేక్ ఇవ్వలేదు తిరిగి ఇంకొకటి మా మంచి పోయినప్పుడు కొంచెం నాకు మా మంచి చూడడం లేదు అంటే యాభై 50 సార్లు వచ్చింది
దేవుడా, ಯಾರು ಸಡನ್గా ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗಿ ಸೌಂಡ್ పెంచారు స్వామి. Now it is 803.8. Now what will happen? 59.5 plus 84. These two subtract from 803. Then 200A is equal is equal minus minus. So this is equal to 803 8 8 803 minus 84 minus 59.5. So this is will happen, my dear friends. Will happen. How much? 659.80. Then equity beta EA is equal to divided by 200. How much happening? 1.399. 1.3 do 3 299 times. This is the equity beta. Understand? Conclusion. Increase in equity beta is justified due to higher leverage. Equity beta has increased from 1.8596 to 3.299 times. See the conclusion for the entire question, my dear friends. Conclusion is increase in equity beta. Increase in equity beta is justifiable. Increase in equity beta is justifiable. Increase in equity beta is justifiable due to higher leverage. Due to higher leverage. Higher leverage. Due to higher leverage. Due to higher leverage, equity beta has increased from equity beta has increased equity beta increased from 1.8596 to 1.896 to times to 3.299 times. 3.299 times. Okay, this is what conclusion. That's what, my friends. Now, Durga Bhavani and our many customers approach me. Thank you, all watchers. Thank you, all my subscribers. మనకంట నెక్స్ట్ క్వశ్చన్కి నెక్స్ట్ వీడియో చూద్దాం. థ్యాంక్ యూ.